6:47, your top news headlines this Wednesday in today's Sunrise Smart Start. Breaking overnight, a man has life-threatening injuries. Two other victims are in the hospital after a city crash. This happened at Ames and Campbell Streets just after 10 p.m. The driver in the striking vehicle, a 47-year-old man, is the one in the hospital with the severe injuries. The driver of the other car, a 73-year-old man, is in critical condition as well. His passenger, 67 years old, is expected to recover. The circumstances leading to that crash remain under investigation this morning. It's done. New York's primary day this summer, and here are some of the results still unofficial for you this morning. Let's take you through some of the contests starting here in Monroe County with the legislature. A big contest and vote in the 27th district. The Ledge president, Democratic incumbent Sabrina Lamar, ousted, defeated by the challenger Rose Bonnick. In the 4th district, Republicans Virginia McIntyre gets the nod over Rita Pedinero. In the 17th, Democratic lawmaker incumbent Rachel Barnhart, she takes that one with more than 60% of the vote against Alan Richards. In the 21st district, incumbent for the Democrats Santos Cruz takes the primary versus challenger Oscar Brewer, about a split of 60-40. In the 22nd, Democrats Mercedes Simmons, Jesse Parson, another one, a little more than 60-40 on the split there. In the 25th district, Democrats Carolyn Delvecchio Hoffman versus Nadia Justice. Delvecchio Hoffman takes that race in the primary. In the 29th, the tight one here, Democratic candidate William Burgess comes out on top against Candace Lucas. That split less than 30 votes on the reports. Rochester City Council in the East District, Democratic incumbent Mary Lupien takes the win against Paul Conroe. In the northeast part of things, the incumbent Michael Patterson fends off a challenge by Kiara Kiki Smith just by about 150 votes or so. In the Northwest District, Democrat Bridget Monroe picks up the win there. In the South District, Democrats Lachey Harris and Barbara Rivera. In that battle, Harris with the win, 67% reported on that for her total. For a full list of the results, you can check those right now on the homepage of rochesterfirst.com. Other headlines we're following. Rochester firefighter Brett Maripisi, the man facing numerous child porn charges, has been put on unpaid leave. The city is also looking to fire him. Maripisi is accused of federal crimes linked to accusations that he communicated with more than 100 kids, trying to get them to send him explicit images. Other charges against him include production, distribution, receipt, and possession of child pornography. The latest on that young man killed in a shooting while driving a stolen car in Rochester 24 hours ago. Police say the car crashed near Joseph Avenue and Laser Street around 6 a.m. Tuesday. The 18-year-old was rushed to the hospital but died shortly after. Also Monday night, police say a woman who was being followed pulled over into Luther Circle when a man pulled a gun on her and took her car. Officers did find that vehicle. An 18-year-old was arrested. Lieutenant Greg Bello says young people keep putting themselves and innocent victims in harm's way.
He's 18, just turned eight. That's a kid in our community, and that's the problem we're talking about here. Because now, if you look at let's go back to the stolen car thing and people getting injured, we've had numerous crashes associated with these cars. We've had cyclists being struck. We've had pedestrians being struck. We've had innocent people being harmed by these.
Police tell us they are still working with Kia and Hyundai throughout this year to distribute more of those free steering wheel locks to help curb the stolen car attempts. A 30-year-old man found guilty of killing two other men in Rochester nearly 2 years ago. Prosecutors say Timothy Brown shot and killed 19-year-old Malachi Smith in November 2021 and also shot and beat 22-year-old Taiwan Harper to death at an apartment on Chestnut Street. Brown is due for sentencing coming up next month. Deputies in Monroe County are still investigating a deadly crash in Parma where one man was killed and another hospitalized with serious injuries. This happened yesterday morning on Route 259 between Peck Road and Parma Center. Deputies say the vehicles were headed in opposite directions when one crossed into the other lane, hitting that other car head on. About 60 more cats have been removed from a hoarder's home in Gates. In total, 165 have been saved as the investigation continues. Lollipop Farm says about 20 cats are ready for adoption now. Authorities say even though the cats have been and still are in the process of being removed from the home, determining whether they were actually abused will take some time to figure out. New frustration for the family of Brittany Drexel, the teen from Chi-Li killed while on vacation in Myrtle Beach back in 2009. Authorities in Myrtle Beach are warning people not to touch the memorial there in her honor. This comes after many items were taken from it, including flowers, flags, and other mementos. And this is roughly 9 months after Drexel's killer was sentenced to life in prison.
They need to keep their hands off her memorial tree. We planted it there. That tree was donated to Brittany back in 2009, 2010. Poor Brittany, you know, she didn't do anything. She went missing because a level 3 sex offender killed her.
The memorial serves as a gravesite for Brittany and the family traveling down there throughout the year. Sunrise traffic here as we approach 654. The only issue we've seen so far this morning is East Ridge Road, Brown Road in Irondequoit out on the east side. A crash there in town. And the live view this morning over on the west side, combination a little bit of that haze and some morning fog, reducing visibility quite a bit. We'll have updates on the smoke from Canada and the impacts for the air quality in a few minutes with James. No Kid Hungry New York has announced $250,000 in grants for 5 school districts with community partnerships. One of those being right here in our area. That's the Wayne County School District, receiving $40 grand in grant funding to enroll more students and families in food aid. No Kid Hungry is working with FoodLink to make this all possible. FoodLink will hire and train staff to increase access to nutritional support. The director there in Wayne County for the schools shares what kind of impact this will have.
In our current pantry, we've already served hundreds of young people and families at one school. So if you could imagine being able to replicate that across 5, 6, 7 school districts, I think it is fair to say that there will be literally thousands of people that have extra food when they need it.
We're going to have more details about the resources for families coming from the schools as part of this initiative posted in our story at rochesterfirst.com today. Happening later tonight, the food truck rodeo at the public market here in Rochester. They'll have plenty of food, drinks, and live music. The food truck rodeo runs from 5 until 9. They do recommend you bring your own chair if you want to have a seat, as seating is limited for that event when it returns once a month. It was almost like the skies right on cue cleared up just in time for everyone to see the U.S. Air Force flying overhead in Rochester. Did you happen to see this yesterday over the skyline? A couple of planes flying in formation twice above the city between 2 and 3 p.m. That was part of a statewide flight plan celebrating 100 years since the U.S. Air Force successfully started refueling the aircrafts and jets in mid-air. The difference between those skies and the skies today, James, is the air quality. Again, just that northern wind bringing the smoke back down.
Yes, it is, and you can smell it, you can see it out there today, and I think it's going to stick around for a lot of this morning. We have slipped into the unhealthy for all category. That puts us in the 150-ish range. So you'll notice it when you walk out the door. We're not saying don't go outside, but just know that if this really bothers you, it's going to be around for at least through the rest of this morning and potentially into the afternoon. Those morning showers that I've got in there for you, just about finishing up. We see a few sprinkles still in the Finger Lakes, but we'll be drying out 72. I'm sure some spots will get to 74, 75. But others may stay in the 60s as those clouds stick around. We are heading into July 4th weekend. Believe it or not, Saturday is the 1st, and there will be showers and thunderstorms around.
All right, thank you, James. Thank you for watching us here at Sunrise. We're back in 30 minutes with updates on the air quality and your news. CBS Mornings coming your way.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.